just in a religious group, the laws are still the laws of the land, and they can be modern and democratic. So, so it's not quite the same. So in our Western society, I would say we have tremendous amount of freedoms that very often we don't fully appreciate. If when we read about those lives, and we read about how a protagonist like Esther in Jerusalem Maiden had to fight for freedom within such a narrow channel, with no freedom is allowed, when the person has no personal freedom because the person is not important, it's only the community that's important. And the big mission of hastening the Messiah's arrival is much larger than any particular individual, which is why, while, for example, Esther and her friends are child brides. They marry them off at 12 to 14 years old. And the secret for marrying off girls at that age is A, full obedience, and B, illiteracy, and age, young age. And that's how you manage to do that. And you marry them off by the time they are old enough to judge or to have other wishes. They have a few children. They can't move away from that. You don't have freedoms in a place like this, but we have freedoms in our society a lot more than many women who internalize prohibitions and psychological inhibitions, and who would say what and so on, a variety of constraints that limit their freedoms. And that is very individual. I can't say any particular group of women, but I think that I've seen over the years. I mean, I was a working mother with no other woman in my generation or in my suburb was working. I was a member of Advertising Women of New York, 700 women. In the 70s, I was the only natural mother. The others were stepmothers. 700 women in a corporate world. So. And
you were a single mother at that point.
I was single for a very short time. I had my husband lined up from the moment I went to look for a lawyer. He was the first attorney I contacted. He said, "I'm not going to represent you. I'll marry you."
Excellent.
Well, not quite this way, but basically, I had him lined up all along.
Great. That's great.
And he was not the reason, and we didn't get married for 3 years, but that was many decades ago.
God was definitely on your side.
Yeah, so I was not really a single woman at any point that I can.
So you have so many issues that are in the news, and global economy and politics and media frenzies and all of the things involved in your novels. Your novels really lend themselves to book clubs. Do you do work with book clubs?
Oh, yes, a lot. And we, over the years, many book groups have picked my previous novels, still picking them up. And they do that now with Jerusalem Maiden, because a book can be very good and very well written, but a boy meets girl, you may not be able to talk so much about it. But when you have a social issue, it lends itself to a very lively and thought-provoking meeting. And I often hear in those meetings how people, friends who know each other for years, say, "Oh, I wouldn't believe that you think this way or that way." They're surprised where they delve into the issues deeper. So sometimes I talk to them on the phone. I do that quite often, if my time permits. And we have special promotions now for Jerusalem Maiden. We're offering a drawing. We have a special collector's edition wine that grown in the Jerusalem mountain, and it carries the label of Jerusalem Maiden cover. We have only 100 such books and such bottles, and we've given out, I guess, over 30 in the drawings, meaning a lot more groups have picked it already, but we have quite a lot more to give. And we also, for Christian groups, we have a little packet with 3 vials of anointment oil from the Galilee, holy water from the Jordan River, and stones from Jerusalem, and it's like 3 vials in a packet.
And people can find out about this on your website,
Yes.
taliacarner.com.
www.
Facebook you, and Jerusalem Maiden has a Facebook page. This time has flown by. Thank you so much for
Well,
coming to
thank you.
visit us. And I hope you come back to the ladies' room. And ladies, thank you for joining us today. Remember to give yourself lots of room. Room for love, room for fun, room to grow, and room to glow. See you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry that you couldn't see it because it really is such high quality and it looks so
Yeah,
good.
when will I get the clip?
You fill out a DVD order form at the front.
Breathe in. Now I took what I want, but you find